Have you ever stood in the kitchen trying to open a stubborn jar lid and thought to yourself, why is this getting harder than it used to be? Or maybe you've looked at a pile of laundry and felt like it might as well be a mountain. It's not that we've stopped being capable, it's just that life and our bodies change. But that doesn't mean things have to be difficult. In fact, there are small, clever ways to make your daily routines easier, lighter, and even a little more joyful. Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. If you're over 60 and you've noticed that everyday tasks, like buttoning a shirt, reaching the top shelf, or even keeping your home tidy, seem to take more effort than before, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not out of options. That's what this video is all about. Together, we're going to explore some practical and surprisingly simple life hacks that can ease your day, save your energy, and help you feel more in control of your routine again. And no, I'm not going to suggest anything that feels like a big project or a complicated gadget that requires an instruction manual the size of a novel. These tips are meant to feel like gentle shifts, little tricks that you can start using right away, often with things you already have around the house. Let's start with something that trips up a lot of people, but no one really talks about: grip strength. Whether it's opening jars, turning doorknobs, or even holding onto the handle of your coffee mug, a weakening grip can quietly sneak up on you. So here's a hack that works wonders: rubber bands. That's right. Keep a few thick rubber bands in a kitchen drawer. When you need to open a jar, just wrap a rubber band around the lid. It gives your hand more friction and control, and suddenly that impossible lid becomes manageable. You can also use rubber grips or silicone jar openers, but even a simple rubber band can make a world of difference. It's not about brute force, it's about smart support. Another smart shift is how you handle your clothes. Buttons can become tricky when your fingers aren't as nimble as they used to be. You might feel frustrated when dressing takes longer than it used to, or worse, when it feels like a battle. Here's a beautiful solution that combines ease and dignity: magnetic button shirts. They look exactly like regular shirts, but instead of struggling with tiny buttons, you simply let the magnets snap together. No one else knows the difference, but you feel it every time you get dressed. It's that little feeling of "I've got this," and it matters. And speaking of clothing, let's talk shoes for a moment. If you've ever bent over to tie your laces and felt like you might need a 5-minute break afterward, you're not alone. It's not always easy to bend, balance, and tie, especially all at once. But here's a simple fix that doesn't involve switching to clunky orthopedic shoes. Instead, try no-tie elastic shoelaces. They turn any pair of lace-up shoes into slip-ons without sacrificing style. You lace them once, adjust them to your comfort, and after that, you just slide your feet in. No knots, no bending, no fuss. These might seem like small wins, but they build into something bigger, a sense of ease and confidence in your day. And when your morning starts smoothly, it sets the tone for everything else. Now, let's shift our focus to the kitchen again. Cooking should feel creative and fulfilling, not like a chore that drains your energy. But if standing too long by the stove or washing a heavy pot feels exhausting, you're not doing anything wrong. Your body is just telling you it needs a break. That's where lightweight non-stick cookware comes in. Swap out the heavy iron pots and pans for lighter aluminum ones. They're much easier on the wrists and just as effective. Pair them with long-handled brushes for washing, and suddenly cleaning up after a meal isn't a wrestling match. And here's another one. Ever dropped something and stared at it for a second thinking, is it really worth picking that up right now? A simple reacher-grabber tool can be life-changing. It's a lightweight stick with a claw at the end, and it helps you pick up small items from the floor, reach for something on a high shelf, or even grab the remote without twisting or stretching. Some models even fold up so you can keep one in each room. It's a small investment with a big payoff in independence and comfort. By now, you might be thinking, why didn't I think of these before? And that's the beauty of it. Often we don't realize how much simpler life can be with just a few clever changes. The goal isn't to avoid doing things. It's to enjoy doing them without strain. Now that we've looked at how grip aids, clothing tricks, and everyday tools can make a difference, let's keep the momentum going. When you begin making small adjustments to your daily routine, like swapping your regular laces for elastic ones or reaching that top shelf with a handy grabber, it's like the weight of the day starts to lift. These aren't just tools, they're quiet little freedoms that return time, energy, and control back into your hands. Let's talk now about something that often gets overlooked: lighting. It sounds simple, but dim or harsh. Lighting can make everything from reading a label to walking across the living room feel more difficult and even dangerous. As our eyes age, they naturally need more light to see clearly, especially during tasks like reading, writing, or cooking. A powerful yet gentle solution: motion-activated LED lights. You can place them inside cabinets, along hallways, near the bathroom floor, or on stairs. Not only do they save you from fumbling for switches in the dark, but they also help prevent falls, one of the biggest risks for seniors living independently. And here's a bonus: these lights often come with adhesive backs, so you won't need tools or a handyman. Just stick them where you need them and go on with your day, safely and confidently. Now, I know many of you love keeping your homes tidy, but vacuuming and sweeping can start to feel like a full-body workout. If you've ever tried to push around a heavy vacuum or chase down dust bunnies with a broom and felt sore afterward, I hear you. There's a kinder way to stay on top of cleaning: lightweight stick vacuums or robot vacuums. A stick vacuum is incredibly light, cordless, and easy to maneuver. You can zip through your living room in just a few minutes without dragging a heavy machine behind you. And if bending or moving around too much is an issue, a robot vacuum might be the answer. Just turn it on and let it do the work for you while you enjoy your cup of tea. You'll be surprised how much of your energy is saved for things you actually enjoy. That brings me to something more personal: bathing and showering. It's one of those things we don't talk about much, but it can quietly become more challenging and risky with time. Standing in the shower, trying to balance, reach, and wash, it's not always as simple as it once was, but with the right support, it doesn't have to feel unsafe or stressful. A shower chair and a handheld shower head can make a world of difference. Imagine being able to sit comfortably while you wash, with the water coming directly to you. No twisting or stretching. It brings comfort back into a daily routine that should feel refreshing, not worrying. And if you add non-slip mats inside and outside the shower, you're creating a safe space where you can focus on feeling clean and relaxed instead of nervous or rushed. These thoughtful changes, better lighting, easier cleaning tools, a safer bathing setup, aren't about giving in to aging. They're about leaning into your wisdom and choosing smarter ways to live fully and comfortably. You've spent a lifetime working hard, caring for others, and pushing through. Now is the time to create a space that supports you just as much as you've supported the people around you. And while we're on the topic of support, let's look at something that might surprise you: your kitchen counter and bathroom sink. Have you ever found yourself leaning against them just to rest for a second? If so, you're not alone. These small, quiet moments are your body's way of saying, "I need a little help here." Adding cushioned floor mats in areas where you stand for longer periods, like in front of the stove, sink, or vanity, can ease joint pain and back pressure. It might not seem like much at first, but over time, the relief adds up. Your knees, hips, and back will thank you for the kindness. Think about how empowering it is to create an environment where your home works with you instead of against you. These aren't luxuries, they're smart adjustments. Little by little, they shape your home into a space that honors the pace of your life without holding you back. And when your environment supports you, your confidence grows. The beautiful thing is, none of these life hacks are about doing less. They're about doing things more comfortably, more confidently, and more joyfully. You don't have to stop being active, cooking, dressing up, or enjoying a tidy space. You just need the right tools to help you do it your way, at your speed, with a little less strain and a lot more ease. Let's keep going. There's something truly empowering about taking small steps that bring comfort, ease, and a sense of control back into your life. Whether it's a cushioned mat beneath your feet, a jar that opens without a struggle, or lights that guide you gently through the dark, it all adds up. You begin to move through your day with less hesitation, more confidence, and the kind of peace that comes from knowing your space is working with you, not against you. Now let's take a moment to talk about something very close to the heart: staying independent. We all value our independence, and rightly so. It's not just about doing things on our own, it's about having the choice to do them our way. But independence doesn't mean you have to do everything the hard way. It means creating a lifestyle that supports your needs today, not the version of yourself from 20 years ago. Take your medications, for example. Managing pills every day, especially if you have multiple prescriptions, can be frustrating, confusing, and sometimes even risky. Have you ever asked yourself, did I take that one already? Or wait, was I supposed to take this with food or not? That uncertainty adds mental strain to your day. A simple weekly pill organizer with labeled compartments can make a huge difference. Even better, many come with morning, afternoon, and evening slots, so you always know where you are. Some even have alarms or reminders. With just a few minutes of setup each week, you can avoid missed doses, double doses, and all the confusion in between. It's not just about convenience, it's about protecting your health and giving your mind one less thing to worry about. And speaking of ease and peace of mind, let's talk about smart home assistants. Yes, they might sound a little futuristic at first, but don't let that stop you. Devices like Amazon Echo or Google Home can be incredibly helpful. Imagine this: you're sitting comfortably on the couch and want to hear your favorite song. Just say it out loud. Want to know the weather before heading out? Ask. Need a reminder to take your medicine, water the plants, or call a friend? Just tell your device and it will remind you exactly when you need it. You don't need to memorize commands or be tech-savvy. These assistants are designed to listen and help, just like a friendly neighbor who always has time for you. And what about staying connected? Sometimes we get so focused on the physical tasks of daily life that we forget how important social connection is to our emotional well-being. If texting or calling has become a little tricky with smaller screens or tiny buttons, consider using phones with larger displays and simplified interfaces. They're made with seniors in mind. Easy to read, easy to use, and made for comfort. Staying in touch with loved ones shouldn't feel like a technical challenge. It should feel like a warm bridge between hearts, no matter the distance. At this point, you might be seeing the common thread between all these life hacks. They're not about giving up your independence. They're about strengthening it, about giving yourself the freedom to focus on what matters: your joy, your health, your hobbies, your relationships, your peace of mind. These adjustments, rubber grips for jars, elastic shoelaces, motion lights, smart devices, and medication organizers, they're not signs of weakness. They're signs of wisdom. They reflect the experience of someone who knows that life is meant to be lived with comfort, dignity, and choice. So let's take a moment to celebrate that. You're not just adapting, you're thriving. You're not just making things easier. You're opening up space in your life for more laughter, more rest, more enjoyment. The effort you've made to support yourself, to lighten your load, and to welcome change with grace, that is something powerful. And if you've tried any of these hacks, or have your own tricks that have helped you, you're warmly invited to share them in the comments below. This community grows stronger when we share with each other, when we remind one another that we're not alone on this journey. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a like. It helps more seniors discover content that's made for them. And if you want more gentle, practical advice like this, things that truly make a difference in your day-to-day life, be sure to subscribe. We're here to help you live easier, happier, and more confidently. Because here's the truth, you deserve comfort, you deserve support, and you deserve a life filled with ease and joy, no matter your age. Here's to living smart, living well, and living beautifully at every stage of life.